What is up, everyone? Today we are going to be looking at some meta builds for the sword and shield. I'll be showing off some raw damage builds as well as every type of elemental and status build. I will say that obviously I myself and you the viewer are going to be limited to the talismans that we have available to us to make the best set that we can make, so just keep that in mind. Now let's get into it. We are going to be starting off with my NARGA build. Personally, I think this is the best sword and shield set that I have. Does really great damage, 95% affinity when attacking weak spots, 100% when land power is activated. I was able to squeeze in level 2 Master's Touch, so I have a 40% chance of not losing sharpness when dealing a critical hit, and that's going to help us maintain that white sharpness so we can keep that high damage multiplier. And to put the cherry on top, I'm getting level 2 Slugger from my talisman, which is going to help KO monsters with our shield attacks. Again, a really high level set, and I think this is one of the best NARGA sets you can make. Next we have my TIGREX sword and shield set. Some may argue that the TIGREX sword and shield is the best in the 2.0 update, and I wouldn't disagree. However, you have to maintain the white sharpness in order to keep the high damage multiplier, which means that you would have to limit your move selection down to shield attacks, or you would have to constantly sharpen your weapon. Some players don't mind doing that, and if that's the case, the TIGREX sword and shield is your best option for high damage. I think between the NARGA and the TIGREX sword and shield, it's 1A and 1B, so you can't go wrong either way. Next we have my ninja sword set, one of the best sword and shields in the game. I would say it's the third best in the 2.0 update, definitely one of the most comfortable and versatile sword and shields you can hunt with. In my opinion, this is the best set to make with the ninja sword. As you can see, this is not a bludgeoner set or a protective polish set. Instead, we're opting for Master's Touch, which is going to help us maintain the additional blue sharpness that we get from level 2 handicraft. Now you can say that a protective polish set is more reliable, and I wouldn't argue against it. However, I prefer not to have to worry about keeping protective polish activated, and I'd rather just hunt without having to do additional steps. I will say that this set is reliable. I did a lot of testing, and it's very rare that you will lose your blue sharpness because we have level 3 Master's Touch. Again, really great set. Next we have my DIABLOS sword and shield set, pretty similar to my TIGREX set. I think the DIABLOS sword and shield is the 4th to 5th best sword and shield in the 2.0 update. Not really much else to explain. I'll let you guys analyze the set before we move on to the next build. Now we are moving into our elemental builds, starting off with our ice build. In this set we are using the Godtier sword and shield, really great sword and shield to have. Starts off with great raw damage, not that great of ice damage, however we will be bumping that up with level 5 ice attack. You'll notice that we are using level 3 handicraft with this set, and that is because we want more blue sharpness to work with so our hunts are more comfortable and that we keep a high damage multiplier. If you want, you could replace the handicraft jewel with an attack jewel so you can max out attack boost and settle for level 2 handicraft, but personally I'd rather take the additional blue sharpness to be more comfortable. Next we have my water build. In this set I'm using the Mizu sword and shield. Not really much to explain here besides being able to squeeze in one level of critical element in addition to the other damage boosts we are getting. I'll let you guys analyze before we move on. Next we have my fire build. In this set we are using the Anjanath sword and shield. Starts off with great raw damage, not the best fire damage, but we are improving the fire damage with level 5 fire attack, and we are getting level 2 handicraft, which gives us more blue sharpness to add comfortability. I will say that you can go with the Rathalos sword and shield instead of the Anjanath sword and shield. I wouldn't argue against it, but you have that option. Next we have my thunder build. In this set I'm using the Zinogre sword and shield. Not really much to explain, it's pretty similar to my other builds, and I'll let you analyze before we move on. Next we have my dragon build. In this set I'm using the Ibushi sword and shield. Again, not really much to explain, and go ahead and analyze before we move on. Now let's get into my status builds. Starting off with my poison build, we are utilizing the Rathian Sword and Shield, one of the best overall sword and shields in the game. This set is definitely God tier. This set has high raw damage, 75% affinity when attacking weak spots, and it becomes 85% when lay-in power is activated. We are maximizing our poison buildup with level 3 poison attack. In addition, we are getting level 2 slugger, which is going to help us KO monsters, and we are getting level 1 handicraft from our decoration just so we can get additional blue sharpness to be more comfortable. You do have the option to replace the handicraft jewel for either a critical eye jewel, which will give you more affinity, or you can go with a slugger jewel to maximize your opportunity to KO monsters. Either way, you can't go wrong. Next we have my sleep build. I love this set, so much fun to use. We are getting pretty good damage output and good sleep buildup. This set works perfectly with the Walking Nightmare Sword and Shield. Because we are left with green sharpness, we are using level 3 bludgeoner to maximize our attack output, and we are getting level 3 sleep attack to maximize our sleep buildup, and level 3 bombardier to maximize our barrel bomb damage. Again, really fun set to use if you want to go sleep bombing. Next we have my blast build. In this set we are using the Magnamalos Sword and Shield. This build is great for amazing damage output. We're maximizing all the important damage skills, and that's pretty much what this set comes down to. You could opt for the Teostra Sword and Shield, but you would lose out on a level 2 and level 1 decoration slot. Again, a really amazing set overall. Next we have my paralysis build, another amazing status build, definitely one of my favorites to use. In this set we are utilizing the Cat Burglar Sword and Shield, which is very reminiscent of the Gendrome Sword and Shield. Shout out to those who know what I'm talking about. This Sword and Shield doesn't start off with good raw damage, however we are improving the raw damage with maxed out attack boost, weakness exploit, and bludgeoner. Even then our damage is okay, but this Sword and Shield makes up for the poor damage output with great paralysis buildup, which we are maximizing with level 3 paralysis attack. On top of that we are getting level 3 slugger, which will help us KO monsters. Again, really amazing set. If you play this set correctly, you should be paralyzing the monster 2 to 3 times and KOing the monster 2 to 3 times per quest. Because of that potential, this set is not only one of the best sets in the game, but also one of the most fun to use. And that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think of all the sets, and let me know if there's any way to make them better. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments section. I'll be sure to answer. I'll be making more similar videos for other weapon types, so stay tuned for those. Thank you for the continued support, and until next time guys.